If I had to sum up NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 in one word, I think that word is pretty damn easy. Glorious. Hey guys, TheXploder here, and welcome to the video. Now, today we're going to be talking about NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2 that aired on the Saturday of this week just gone. So that was the 20th of August of 2016. Oh my god, was this just as good as the first NXT Takeover. In fact, I love this even more. It was really, really fun. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be going over the entirety of the match card, match by match, and then giving you my overall thumbs up or thumbs down of the entire show and whether I thought it was so good that you should definitely catch it on the WWE Network if you've missed out. So I'm actually not going to go through these in order of how they were done on the show. I'm going to go through these in order of at least what I think were the best matches, at least in my opinion. So starting off, Ember Moon versus Billie Kay. Now, this was obviously Ember Moon's big debut, and as well as that, it was my personal first time seeing Billie Kay. And first things first, Billie Kay. Nicely done, very nicely done. Not just is she damn good looking, she can work. And I mean work. Like, that's probably the first time I've seen a really good female wrestler from Australia do that well. So well done, Billie Kay. I've got to give you props for that. As for Ember Moon, great look. Really, really good look. The crimson eyes kind of scare me. Like, the eyes are pretty intimidating, but that's the whole look that Ember Moon's going for. The match itself was okay. Like, the two girls were working really well with one another. It didn't fall flat, and it didn't go into, like, diva match territory where you were like, okay, piss break. It didn't go anywhere near there whatsoever, but I didn't feel as if it had nearly as much emotion, or didn't have nearly as much drive in there as some of the other female matches we've come to watch now, especially with the women's division as it stands now, with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Billie, and all that jazz. Speaking of Billie, we're gonna get to her match in a little bit, but first, No Way Jose versus my man, Austin Aries. So for the longest time, I've never been a big fan of No Way Jose. I just don't really connect with his character. His character's okay, don't get me wrong, but I personally don't like it. I think it's more of a detriment than an actual boost. While Austin Aries has the same character that he's had for years. I'm the best. Get in line. You're next to be taken down so I can get one step closer to that championship. And now that Shinsuke Nakamura is NXT champion, oh my god, I hope Austin Aries is at least in line to go against Shinsuke for that championship. I cannot wait for a match like that to happen. Quite frankly, about this match though, as much as I don't like Jose's character, he works very well, and he worked exceptionally well with Aries. There were some moments where I thought, you might be dragging this out a little bit, but they realised that and quickly changed it back over again. The match itself was very, very enjoyable. Austin Aries coming out with a win. Overall, can't complain, really good match. Nice stuff. Then in my opinion, we had the best tag team match I have seen in NXT. Probably since NXT Takeover Brooklyn last year, when it was American Alpha versus The Revival. And this match was brilliant. The Revival, their theme tune, their entire premise is very, very strong. I admire what they're doing. I hope that this marks they're going to the main roster now, because main roster deserves to have some pretty damn good tag teams. And I think the Revival have earned the right to go onto main roster and try to dominate the likes of the Dudleys, the Ascension, which are kind of dead right now, the New Day, especially the Club. There's a lot of guys they can work with on main roster. and the Revival can really just show off who they are and what they're capable of. But with that said, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, sorry. Amazing work. Talk about two guys that know how to work off one another. There was just something beautiful about it. The fact that they didn't even have a tag team name never came into question for me. These two guys work so well, and the finish of that match was insanely good. You see these guys do the tag team move, everyone's going nuts, everyone's thinking, oh my god, they've done it. They've actually done it. They've got the championships. And what happens? Friggin' foot on the rope? What? Ah! Insanity. Pure insanity. I was not expecting that. That match was booked really well. That's probably the best booked tag team match I've seen to date. Amazing work from both teams. Revival, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Very good stuff. Oh, can't wait to see what happens next. I really can't wait. My next favourite match would probably have to be Asuka versus Billie. The big rematch we've all been waiting for. And it was great. It had no bad moments about it, at least in my eyes. It was a very solid, straightforward women's championship match. And it was a really, really good match. Asuka and Billie work insanely well with one another, and it put Billie over as the true champion. It put her over as the people's champ. The person everyone wanted to root for, everyone wanted to win, everyone was expecting to go in there, have the best match of her NXT career, and dominate and get out with that win. It was shocking though that Asuka ended up with that win and not Billie. However, with that said, this is now the catalyst Billie needs to finally get onto the main roster. Will she go on Raw or SmackDown though? I'm not too sure. I can kind of see her working more on Raw, going against Charlotte, and having that dynamic going on with her, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. And my reason behind that is so that you'll have those three working against one another. You'll have Charlotte saying, I have the blood of Ric Flair inside of me. I am the best. No one can come up to me. Look at Billie. You're just a cheerleader. Something along those lines. Then you got Sasha Banks saying, well, I'm the boss. I'm the champion. I've got gold here, there, everywhere. What you got, you know? And then you've got Billie, the people's champ, coming out and just going, I'm gonna hug everybody and I'm gonna show you why hugs are the best thing in the world. Yes. I love Billie. I love Asuka at that. Give Asuka a little bit more time. Maybe give her until the end of this year in NXT. Let her drop the title to another upcoming women's wrestler. Maybe even Ember Moon or Billie Kay. And give us some time to get over that little bit more. And then you can bump her over to main roster to Raw or SmackDown. And I personally think she'll work better on SmackDown. But that's my personal opinion. Overall, fantastic match. Great women's championship match. I hope this means Billie is now on main roster. And of course, before we get to the main event, my second favourite match of the night. Debatably my favourite. But damn, this match was amazing. To put into context, I've seen Bobby Roode in TNA and I've seen him live whenever they've came over to London. I've seen him in Beer Money. I've seen him in singles competition. I've seen him just doing promos in the ring. He is such a great talent. Bobby Roode deserves to be here so much. And for the longest time I was thinking to myself, okay, he's got a great character behind him because he's got a bit of Triple H, a bit of Ric Flair, a bit of Rick Rude behind him. But he needs something else. He needs that little something to just make him that bit extra. And what did he get? He got possibly one of the most over theme tunes in the history of the business, or at least for modern day standards with CFOs. Oh my god. Glorious Domination. What an amazing theme tune. And how he just comes out when he's on top of that elevator thing, and it's just glorious. Oh, I swear to God, it was the perfect intro for Bobby Roode. I cannot wait to see what else he does in NXT. Hopefully down the line he goes up against Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe even reviving some of his rivalries with Eric Young. It looks really, really good. I cannot wait to see what more Roode is going to bring to the table. And quite frankly, after a while, when he goes onto main roster, oh my God, the matches he can have. Bobby Roode is taking over, and it is nothing short of glorious. But of course, one of the greatest matches of the night, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. I've really been looking forward to this. Again, because I've seen Bobby Roode and TNA coming over here, I have seen Samoa Joe as well, and I love what he brings to the table. Samoa Joe's just such a very good talent for what he does. He's a big guy that's not afraid to do high-risk stuff, who's pretty damn fast on the mat, very intelligent in the mat as well, not just with submissions, but with grapples and strikes and all that good stuff. While Nakamura is just beautiful as a wrestler. And when I say that, everything that he does is awe-inspiring. Everything that he does as the King of Strong Style is nothing short of brilliant. Heavy striker, that knee, the K-Sasha! Which I still think is a kind of worse name than his finisher's actual name from when he was back in New Japan. But with that said, this match was great. This match was a very solid end, and well done, Shinsuke Nakamura, for winning the NXT Championship. It's about time he has. It really is. He deserves that so much, and I'm looking forward to what opponents he's going to go up against. I think Shinsuke versus Austin Aries would be an amazing match. Shinsuke versus Bobby Roode possibly, but I don't think they'll work as well with one another because I think Bobby Roode is too much of a big guy to go against Shinsuke, but that shouldn't stop Shinsuke from taking him on. I think they can still have a really solid match, but have Bobby Roode as the more gentlemanly, like Ric Flair style, I am the best at what I do. I'm nothing short but glorious. Who are you, Shinsuke? And Shinsuke's just like, I'm gonna kick you right in the face. I'm gonna pin you on that mat. You know, you have that angle behind it, and that'll be super good. But Shinsuke Nakamura as champion, I think they'll have a very good rematch with Samoa Joe. At least one solid rematch with Samoa Joe before Joe goes onto full roster. And I would love it. WWE, I would love it if Samoa Joe hits main roster. Please give him to SmackDown. Give him to SmackDown. Let him go against AJ. Let him go against John Cena. Let him dominate SmackDown and bring the pain. Let him go against Ambrose, Ziggler, friggin' Miz. Let him go against all of those guys. Let him just power through that division. He would work so much better on SmackDown than on Raw, at least in my opinion. Hopefully, either now or after they've had a rematch, this will mark Samoa Joe's possible debut on Raw or SmackDown. I just can't wait to see what is literally going to happen next. So with all that said about the show, what am I going to give it as a thumbs up, thumbs down? I'm not going to give it a score because I think scores are better for like video games and movies, anime and all that jazz. For this show, NXT Takeover Brooklyn, New York 2, I'm going to give it the solid thumbs up. It is such a good show. Very good stuff indeed. Very nice debut from Ember Moon. Fantastic match with Austin Aries and No Way Jose. Bobby Roode was nothing short of glorious. Just to put it out there, Revival versus Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa was bloody brilliant. Asuka versus Bayley was the perfect send-off for Bayley in NXT. And Shinsuke versus Samoa Joe. Do I have to say any more? It was a fantastic card, a great night, and if you haven't seen it yet, catch it on the WWE Network. You do not want to miss out on a thing like this. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Did you like all the matches? Were you a little bit unsure with, like, the one match I was kind of unsure about, which was Ember Moon versus Billie Kay? Even though it wasn't terrible, it was a bit in all honesty. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I am TheXploder here, the self-proclaimed most explosive man of the planet. If you want to hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, you can right here. Also say right here. I had to actually look properly. But have a look right there. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be down in the description below. And I'll check you guys later. Stay explosive, people. Bye.